let's make Wild Blackberry Buckle. Okay, so we're first going to begin by pouring a cup of sugar into our mixing bowl, and then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of lemon zest. So what we're going to do is we're going to, once I get this all zested, we're going to mix the lemon zest and the sugar together, and we're going to let it sit for a minute so that it can marry itself well. Okay. So how we marry it basically is just to take a scoop of it and squeeze and press the lemon and sugar together, and that's going to release those aromatics. So while the sugar and lemon zest is resting, we're going to take a tablespoon of flour, we're going to put it in a bowl, and we're going to coat our blueberries in this. So this is what we want our coated blueberries, excuse me, blackberries to look like. Yeah, you can do this recipe with blueberries too, but that's another conversation. So once we have let our lemon zest and sugar sit, we're going to add 1 stick of unsalted butter to the blender, to the mixer, and we're going to beat this. Now that it has turned our yellow for about 3 minutes, pale yellow, we want to go ahead and add 1 egg. 1 egg at room temperature. What we want to do is take, we're going to sift our flour before we mix our baking powder and salt with it. So I've already put a cup of flour in here, and I'm going to put another cup of flour into my sifter, and we're going to sift this really quickly and then add our baking powder and our salt, kosher salt. Okay, so to our measuring cup, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of buttermilk, a 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, and we're going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of some really good vanilla, and we're going to mix this up really well. Okay, now to our egg and sugar mixture, we're going to start with 1/3 of our flour, and then 1/2 of our milk mixture, followed by another 1/3 of flour, the rest of our milk mixture, and then the last 1/3 of the flour. So okay, so now we're going to spoon our very thick batter into our pan. And remember, we're not going to make this a smooth top. We're going to kind of make it a rough top. But okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blackberries and we're going to just squeeze them all in this cake batter. All right, look at that. Beautiful, right? So now we're going to take some turbinado sugar, which is just sprinkling sugar. We're going to sprinkle it all over our cake. Put as little or as much as you like of the turbinado sugar. And we're going to bake this at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. And we're going to let our cake cool on our cooling rack for a few minutes. All right, here we go, taking her out. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look how beautiful that blackberry cake is. Ah! And there you have it, our Wild Blackberry Buckle cake. Listen, baking should not be complicated. Just get in the kitchen, have fun, experiment with the kiddos, and enjoy the process. Bye.